Hi, Rama. Sorry, some phone calls. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम मंत्र नंबर 7। गताः कलाः पंचदश प्रतिष्ठा गताः कलाः पंचदश प्रतिष्ठाः देवाश्च सर्वे प्रतिदेवतासु देवाश्च सर्वे प्रतिदेवतासु कर्माणि विज्ञानमयश्च आत्मा कर्माणि विज्ञानमयश्च आत्मा परे व्यये सर्व एकी भवन्ति परे व्यये सर्व एकी भवन्ति। Yesterday we saw सर्वे परे व्यये एकी भवन्ति. They all become as though one, they become one with the Brahman, which is Paraha and Avyaya. Para means that which is limitless. Avyaya, that which doesn't undergo any modifications. That which is not going to perish. That means that which is not subject to birth and death. That which is free from birth and death, that is Pare Brahmani. Eki Bhavanti, they become one, which is that Brahman, they become one with the Brahman. Para means Brahmani. In Brahman, Para Shabda means limitless, and the limitless is Brahman. So in Brahman, they become one. And what they become one? Ahankara Vijnanamaya Scha Atma. Vijnanamaya Scha Atma means primarily Ahankara. Okay? And its karmas, they become one with the Brahman. And Saptadashak or Panchadashak Kalaha, all the 15 aspects, meaning thereby Sukshma Sharira merges with the Samashti Sukshma elements, Panchamahabhutas. Ahankara becomes one with Brahman. This is becoming is figurative. Ahankara was not there. The Akhandakara Vritti, at the moment when the knowledge takes place, at that very moment, Ahankara is over, is no more there. It is destroyed. Then what is there? There is a Badhit Ahankara. There is a Vyavaharik individuality, transactional individuality. That individuality was there, and that also gets dissolved. That is not there because that individuality existed till the knowledge, till the prarabdha was there. The karta was a vyavaharik karta, apparent. and that karta, doer, is gone. You know that the person who is identified with the body-mind complex is ignorant karta. When the knowledge takes place, still the body-mind complex identification continues, because individuality continues because of the prarabdha. And that individuality continues, that person is called Jivan Muktaha. And Jivan Mukta is there, it becomes one with Brahman. That means Vimuktascha Vimuchyate. One who was already free now became free. The apparent limitations were gone. Okay? Then they are not there. And so this prarabdha kshaya comes it, and all the karmas also come to end. Sanchita karmas has already ended at the very moment the knowledge took place. Yathai damsi samiddognihi basmasat kurute arjuna gnanagni sarva karmani basmasat kurute tatha. So gnanagni has burnt all the karmas. Which karmas? Sanchita. There is no agami karma left because there is no ahankara. There is no doer. The whatever doer is seen by others is an apparent doer, is an incidental doer. It is aupadhika karta. Since that person wields this body-mind complex, and that body-mind complex has some connection with the world, and therefore there is called sublated ego, technically called as badhit ahankara or sublated ego. That ego is not there. A sublated ego is there who doesn't do anything. There is no karma being done by that. And only karma left was prarabdha. And that prarabdha has come to an end. So karmanischa brahmani eki bhavanti. Pareve sarvam eki bhavanti. All of them eki bhavanti. Does not mean literally they join to Brahman and they remain in Brahman or they merge in Brahman forever. No. It means they are no more separate. You know, Bhashyakara very beautifully writes, Sarvam eki bhavanti avisheshatam gachanti ekatvam apadyade jaladi adhara apnaye iva suryadi pratibimbaha surye ghatadi apnaye iva akashe ghatadi akasha. Sarvam. Two examples he gives. Ghatadi apnaye, when pots are removed, various pot spaces, 5 liter pot space, 10 liters pot space, 15 liters pot space, they become eki bhavan, they become one, they merge. What does it mean merge? There is no separation. They were separate, apparently separate because of the walls of the pot. But that separation is also gone. Similarly, wise person was as though separate from Brahman because of the body-mind complex. Prarabdha kshaye, that separation comes to an end. There is no separation. Okay? They are no more separate from Brahman. Okay. And that being a case, it is said eki bhavanti, they become one. See, this is where, listen, you need a teacher. You need a parampara, a shrotriya acharya, brahmanishta acharya. You have to learn. Otherwise, there's a merge. They will merge with Brahman, and then they imagine that you have to go to Brahman and merge there and sit there in Brahman forever. or get dissolved into Brahman forever. That means they imagine Brahman as a separate entity and Jivatma as a separate entity. No, Jiva was separate only because of ignorance. Anything born out of ignorance is only apparent. A ghost that is seen in case of ghost. So there is an apparent ghost. That ghost exists only as long as there is a ignorance, full stop. The rope is also incident. The snake, rope snake, is incidental. So also ahankara or jivatma is incidental. There is no merging. It is like, he uses a plural, sarve eki bhavanti. They all become one with them. All means why? Like that, so many pot spaces, as though we use plural. 1 pot, 5 liter pot space, 2 liter pot space, 50 gram pot, 50 ml pot space. And then you can say 50 liter pot space, small one, insignificant one, big one, etc. That separation, that is why Shankaracharya writes, separation is no more there. They are no longer separate. But mind you, again, this is the tradition. You need it. The separation was only apparent. Separation was born out of ignorance. Since ignorance caused separation was there, it was apparent separation that comes to an end. While they took themselves to be separate from Brahman, they were non-separate from Brahman. Even and now so-called apparent separation caused by body-mind complex is also not there. Paranta kale paramrutaha amruta bhavanti. And he says, the jiva is released from punya papa. He says, jaladi adharapane eva suryadi pratibimbaha surya ekatvam apantade. There are so many suns, SUNS, depending upon number of reflecting surfaces. The traditional example they give is there are so many vessels in which there is a water and then sun is reflected. But you can give a modern example, like there are so many mirrors, small one, middle size, big size, small size, etc., square, round, shape, triangular, etc. Various shapes of glasses are there. Glasses are the adhara, because of which there are so many suns. Many Surya, Bahavaha Surya. They appear many Suryas. And when you crush them, or when you throw away the water, evaporate the water, all the suns go back to the one original sun. That is called Eki Bhavanti. They become one with the sun. There is no becoming. Apparent division also comes to an end. Okay. And so, having explained this, the Acharya further explains what is nature of mukti. Because Shastra talked about punya papas. Punya papa caused new janmas. And new janmas cause new karmas and new punya papas. So what happens to this jivatma? How does he get released? That is further explained in the next mantra. Look at the mantra number 8. Yatha nadyasyandamana samudre. Yatha nadyasyandamana samudre. Astam gachanti nama rupe vihaya. Astam gachanti nama rupe vihaya. Tatha vidwan nama rupat vimuktaha. Tatha vidwan nama rupat vimuktaha. Parat param purusham upaiti divyam. Parat param purusham upaiti divyam. Yatha nadyas sandamana samudre astam gachanti nama rupe vihaya. Yatha nadyas sandamana samudre astam gachanti nama rupe vihaya. तथा विद्वान् नाम रूपात् विमुक्तः परात् परं पुरुषम् उपैति दिव्यम् तथा विद्वान् नाम रूपात् विमुक्तः परात् परं पुरुषम् उपैति दिव्यम् यथा नद्यः स्यन्दमानाः नद्यः. The rivers flowing in various directions or flowing from various directions, going to various directions, traveling in various directions, all these rivers. Samudre astam gachanti. They disappear in ocean. When a river reaches the ocean, it disappears. All these rivers originating from various places in various directions, traveling in various directions, and when they reach the ocean, they disappear in the ocean. How? Nama rupe vihaya. By giving up the names and the forms. The rivers give up their names and the forms, though they had their identity before, they had their travel before, they had their existence and form before, but now they give up their name and form and disappear, or you can say dissolve, or you can say become one with the ocean. Eki bhavanti. They become one with the ocean. Tatha. Similarly, what happens? So too, vidvan. Tatha vidvan. So the wise person. Wise person means the knower of the self. So also the knower of the self, what he become? Nama rupe, nama rupat vimukta. The wise person, the knower of the self, becomes free from the names and the forms. Okay? And then what is that? And Purusham upaiti divyam. Divyam Purusham upaiti. So the Purusha has two adjectives. Divyam Purusham, and another one is Parat Param Purusham. Okay? Parat Param Divyam Purusham Upaiti. So also a wise person, the knower of the self, who is free from the names and the form, Upaiti. Okay, he gains Purusha. He becomes one with the Purusha. He becomes one with Brahman. Purusha means Brahman. He or she becomes one with Brahman, which is Divyam, which is of the nature of consciousness. Divyam means self-effulgent, self-shining, self-revealing. Becomes one with that Purusha, and who is Parat Param. That Purusha who is superior to Maya. Okay? Now, these rivers, they generally originate from the mountain tops, even on a peak of a mountain. So they come from so much of height. some like this Ganga and etc., 10,000 feet above sea level. Yamuna ji, still certain, they both of them are 10,400 feet above. So high. And they originate from Himalayas. And the ocean is very far. Some river like in Saurashtra, they have very short travel because they just go and merge to Arabian Sea, which is very close to Dwarika, Somnath, whole coastal area. Gujarat happens to have the longest coastal area in the whole country. So they merge there. They be there. So they travel that much. Sometimes river travel alone, and sometimes they merge with other river and travel. Even sometimes if you see Gangaji, the small rivulets join Gangaji. On the way to Badrinath, there are Pancha Prayag, Dev Prayag, Vishnu Prayag, etc. There are five places where two rivers have joined with Gangaji. So either jointly with one river or many or individual. That from whatever place they are born, they rise. And from that place, they travel up to where there is ocean. Okay, and there they give up their names and form. You see, this mantra indicates only this much. Listen, this Jiva is also traveling like a river, and ultimately it merges with Brahman. When he or she becomes wiser, they gain the self-knowledge. But one thing about river is, moment they start, they have a commitment to reach to river. Reach to ocean. Swamiji would say, they are not wandering like this Jivatma, who goes from one yoni to another yoni. And he would say idiot. The idiot would travel. Idiot keeps on traveling, not having clarity as to where to go and why to go. He just keeps traveling. There's a wanderlust the idiot has. And therefore he travels. That's what Swamiji would say. Anyway. So, and but Jivatma keeps taking detour also. Swamiji would elaborate. Rivers know that they don't want to travel even 1 meter extra. They take the shortest route. Something is unique, in nature. Like if you look at this, the river, like these animals, they say a calf knows who is her mother. Even if there are 1,000 cows, the calf will only go to her mother. And the cow will the cow will only let her own calf drink the milk from her udder. She will not let anyone else to drink. They know. To us, they look all the same. At least we have Goshala, so we keep seeing their face and we see the difference somewhat. But when you say the siblings of the lion or a deer or a pig, how do they identify? You don't know. Similarly, one good thing about river is they know where the ocean is closest. They travel only and only in that direction. Gangaji doesn't travel from Himalaya to Kanyakumari. It doesn't travel from Himalaya to Gujarat. It travels Himalaya to Bengal. Just go and straight meet. So they take the shortest route. Swamiji would say it is a Mandu, Jivatma only keeps on taking longer and longer routes and keeps on wandering in the samsara. Anyway, They have so many obstacles. Even the mountains, they will change the route or they will break the mountain and travel, surmount this, but never stop, never tired, So also the mumukshu should have that commitment that moksho me bhuyat mokshicha. Obstacles may come, but never give up. Sanishchayena yoktavyaha yogo nirvinda chedasa. Bhagavan says in Gita, never let yourself down in the pursuit of moksha. Never let yourself deviate from the pursuit of moksha. That commitment should be there. And like a river, you have to use the common sense, the buddhi, to surmount all kinds of the obstacles that one meets with. The obstacles may be external or it can be internal. Just as river finds its own way, we have to find our own way to deal with our own problems, our own obstacles, our own difficult situations, our own, you can say, those situations which can take you away from moksha. I never let myself miss the goal. I never let myself get away from moksha. That commitment should be there. Once that is there, everything else can be taken care of. Then the grace will flow. Ishwara Kripa flows only when there is a commitment, nishtha, to gain moksha. There may be some situations too much for one to handle. It's too much, just unmanageable, one may think. May feel like giving up. So those weaker moments of the mind will come. But I never give up. Even this will pass. Okay? Life is constantly changing. And this will also change. With that Shraddha, I keep pursuing my moksha. That is Manushya Janma Safalya. Sometimes the person is shaken not because of the situation outside, the obstacle within, wrong thinking, improper thinking. One may get influenced by someone else who may be a Purva Paksha, look like very logical, and that may happen. Even if that happens, I don't give up. I pursue the moksha. I am very clear about the goal and the means, and I push myself, bring back myself to the pursuit of moksha, even when my own mind is not cooperating. My own mind may be resisting. I don't succumb to any kind of resistances and get back to this. That is called yataya. No? Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amrutatva manashu. Parena nakam nihitam guhayam. That mantra. Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha Sannyasa Yogad Yatayah Shuddhasam. That Yatna Shilatvam is Dhruti. You require dhairyam. That I hold myself together in the pursuit of moksha. That dhairyam is there. and I continue moksha pursuit. That is, that is also a point conveyed or can be interpreted that way to the example of rivers. The river travels, does not stop till it meets with the ocean. Okay. What happens when it meets with the ocean? When it meets with the ocean, Nama Rupe Vihaya Astam Gachanti. They disappear as though they dissolve into the ocean, giving up the Nama and Rupa. Till it reached the ocean, the water was separate from the ocean. The river had its own travel path. River had its own identity. And if you talk India, river had its own history. You see, this is a Hindu Rashtra. It is so easy to prove. There is not a single river in the name of in the Urdu language. Not a single mountain in Urdu language. Not a single place in Urdu language, original. So it is a Hindu Rashtra. There is nothing you find that river's name which is in Urdu. No, it is not there. It is all Hindu. No, somebody wrote to me, no river is called Shabnam, Shabana, Ruksana, because they were there from beginning. No mountain is called Abdul Salim or Hussein because they are there. Even the names of the trees in our Hindi people, Bargad, etc., they are all that. They don't have Hindi name, even Urdu name. Even the plants that we respect like Tulsi and Arjun and Palash, they are also Sanskrit names, Hindi names. And none of the Ayurvedic medicine has Urdu names. They are all Sanskrit names, And a common, in Gujarati we say, Ram Ban Dawa. Ram Ban Aushadhi. They don't say Allah Ban or Muhammad Ban Aushadhi. There is nothing like that. So this is a country which belongs to Hindus primarily, and it still belongs to them. Anyway, coming back to this point, these rivers, separate travel, separate name, separate history, everything, they all get astam, disappear. Once they meet the ocean, okay? The difference or the separation was what disappeared? Nama Rupe Vihaya. Look at this. Very beautiful, very apt word Acharya has used, Rishi has used. Nadyaha Nama Rupe Vihaya Astam Gachanti. Astam Gachanti Samudre Sandamana Samudre Astam Gachanti. They disappear in ocean, giving up their name and form. That means what? Separation also was nothing but name and form. See, what is lost is only name and form. What was there? Only name and form. And when there is only name and form, it is mithya. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheya mrittikityeva satyam. Pot is a name and form. There is no vastu, substance called pot. Pot substance is clay, but name and form is pot. So that pot is separate from the clay. But separation of a pot is only in terms of name and form. A clay in a particular form is given a particular name. Similarly, gold in a particular form is given a particular name. But gold is ultimately the gold. Separation is of only Namaru. River was separate only in terms of name and form. So, he says, Namarupe Vihaya. They give up their name and form. They give up their identity. They give up their individuality. Means what? Formally also, it was only H2O, river. And ocean is also H2O. What happens to a wise person? That wise person is a river who knows that I am H2O. And so it runs to the ocean to give up the apparent difference, apparent individuality, and therefore to finish the prarabdha. Wise person wants to finish the prarabdha, and the tatparya, though we stretch the example quite long, but the essence of example is once they reach ocean, they give up their name and form. They give up their separate identity. And the separate identity was only and only name and form. There was no really separate identity. The Hankara identified with this gross body-mind complex, that name and form, and therefore it got, since identified with the form, it was given a name, Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. That is only apparent, caused by ignorance, identification with the upadhi, sharir, man, pran, indriya, etc. Otherwise, it is free from all these attributes. Nama rupe vihaya astam gacchati. They just dissolve. Tatha vidwan. Just as the river becomes completely free from names and form. There may be some time it might not become. This is called anuvritti or sapratibandhaka ghananam. Like when you go to Calcutta, this Gangaji merges into Bay of Bengal. But when it merges, the quantity of water is so much that area is called Ganga Sagar. It is called Ganga Sagar. But then that means you can say that's just a step away from removing Ganga and making it only Sagar. So it gives up Namaru. There was individuality. What is left is only ocean. That means only Brahman. It as though Pareve Brahmani. They reach that Brahman, they merge into that Brahman as though pot space merging into total space. That is that is called merging. It's just giving up name and form, which is caused by ignorance. So knowledge removes that. Okay. So listen. See, this is one more point. Why there is no rebirth for a wise person. When the person gained the knowledge, he or she was already enlightened. What enlightenment? Mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, ninaham, nacha, shrotra, jivve, nacha, grana, netra, etc. I am not this body-mind complex. So this is not my real name, Namarupa, Mr. So-and-so, Swami so-and-so. That is not my name. It is given to Rupa only, this form. So he has already given up Namarupa. Wise person has already given up Nama Rupa, and when enlightened, the apparent Nama Rupa also are given up. Water knows, river knows, I am only H2O, nothing else. And so also wise person's journey may continue till the prarabdha ends. But when before prarabdha also he has given up the Nama Rupa, he has disowned the Nama Rupa, after that there is no question of he gaining another Nama Rupa, and therefore there is no question of wise person taking rebirth. Giving up of Nama Rupa is for good. It is all for good. No more identification. Why? It is a nature of knowledge. You know, ignorance, when it goes, it doesn't know how to come back. And knowledge, once it comes, doesn't know how to go back. So knowledge is there. So there is no possibility of Nama Rupa in future. So there is no possibility of Janma in future of a wise person. Now, where does he go? Like river, this traveler who was traveling zigzag, who was on a crazy ride. You can say that's a better example. You know, those rides, crazy rides from one yoni to another yoni. That fellow reaches Purusha. Which Purusha? Parat Param Divyam Purusham. He gains or he merges with the Purusha that is superior to or beyond what? Para. There are two para words. Parat para, superior to param. In the last mantra, the word pare brahmani eki bhavanti. Para means Brahman, limitless. But when para shabda is used twice, parat param, that means that parat is maya. That which is beyond maya. Okay? That is that which is beyond manifestation. That which is beyond name and form. That which is free from name and forms. That parat param. That maya, parat param means that maya which is avyakta. So that which is beyond unmanifestation. So he reaches to Brahman. Okay. So when Param Shabda, listen this also. This is also where you need a tradition. You need a parampara. Then they confuse Akshar Brahma and Param Brahma and that Brahma and all. Swaminarayan has 7 Brahmas. And Shankaracharya in Vyasa is in the 7th Brahman. Purana Purushottam is the ultimate Brahman, they think. And they keep talking about that Brahman. No? How much conditioning sometimes. You feel today I received a WhatsApp. I mean, India is really incredible India. I can tell only in Gujarati. You know? Sriji Baba નિત્ય કર્મ કરવા કઈ ગયા તો નાડું ખુલ્યું ભગવાન તો નાડું ખુલ્યું અને ફલાણા સ્વામીએ નાડું ખોલી આપ્યું નિત્ય કર્મ કરવા અને એ પછી બાબાએ નાડું એને પ્રસાદીમાં આપ્યું સંપ્રદાયમાં નાડું આજ સુધી સચવાયેલું છે અને નાડું આજે રાજકોટ આવ્યું છે મહામૂલો અવસર છે તમે દર્શન કરીને જીવન મુક્તિ પામો નાડાના દર્શન. My God, what to tell this fellow? I don't know. You become dumb with them. You know? Mukam karoti vachalam, rather than the vachalam mukam karoti. They say we are Hindus. What? How can I call? I mean, I don't know what to say to them. Somebody can, because they don't wear pajamas in Western countries, so they will not understand how to business, I guess. Anyway, whatever it is. So, Param, that is, Param, there is a Shastra you have to study from a teacher. This Brahman and that Brahman and seventh Aksharam Brahma is our Brahma. Rest Brahmas are smaller Brahmas. And Shankaracharya ji is in the seventh Brahman. Vyasji is also in the seventh Brahman. And our Purna Purushottam is an ultimate Brahman. All this, not understand. Listen this. In the previous mantra, para word is used. Look at that. Pare avyaye sarvam eki bhavan. They all become one in Pare. There we interpreted Param means Brahman. Okay. Etymologically also, Param means limitless. And limitlessness means Brahman. So Para word indicates Brahman. But look here. Here what it is? Parat Param. That which is beyond Param. Now, can there be anything beyond limitless? No. So contextually, you have to interpret that first Param is Maya. That which is superior to Maya. Maya is also called Param in Shastra. Like that Aksharat Purusha Param, the 15th chapter. That Akshara itself is Brahman. But when Aksharat Param, Dvav Imau Purusho Loke, Ksharascha Evacha, Ksharas Sarvani Bhutani, Kutostho Ksharuchate, Uttamah Purushastvanyah Paramatmet Yudharutaha, Yolokatre Mavishya Vibhartavya Ishvara, Yasmad Ksharamati Toham Aksharadapi Chottama. Atosmi lokesmin pathitha purushottama. Aksharadapi uttama. There akshara, naksharati iti akshara. That doesn't perish. That means birthless, deathless. That is Brahman. And then what? Aksharat param. I am superior to akshara. So there, when this kind of usage is there, in such cases, the param should be interpreted as Maya. Aksharam also should be interpreted as Maya. Dvavimau Purusho Loke Ksharaschaksharevacha Ksharas Sarvani Bhutani Kutastho Ksharuchate Uttamah Purushastvanyah Paramatmetyudarutaha Yolokatreavishya Bhivyaya Vibhartavya Ishvara Yasmat Ksharamati Toham Aksharadapi Cha Uttamaha. So I am Uttama from Maya. Okay. Oh, when it is used twice, it means Maya. So Ishvara says, I am again the Purusha, which is beyond Maya. That means, which is Mayapati. They again means they become that. Okay. They lose their identity. They lose their individuality. They lose their separation. Okay. With this, we'll close the class today. And we'll see you on next Saturday. Tomorrow is, I'll announce later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnhat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamyevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Tomorrow is Saraswati Shayanam.